am Jason Russell, the head of tools and content development for the Reignmakers game over at luckytrader.com. And I am here today to tell you about the new groundbreaking product, the next evolution in fantasy sports technology, the first ever lineup optimizer for the DraftKings Reignmakers game. Myself and the amazing team at Lucky Trader have been working on this incredible product over the last 5 months, and finally, we are ready to share it with you all. Now, here in this show, at first, I'm going to tell you how you can get your next 3 weeks. That means 2 preseason NFL slates and week 1 of NFL, all for free by signing up and using the codes I'm going to go over with you here in just a bit. And then stay tuned to hear from some of the biggest players in the industry, including Lucky Trader co-founder Peter Jennings and #1 ranked NFL Reignmakers player. You guys know him as RS Bathla, and he's going to be joining me with the Metaverse HQ squad as we break down the tools and, of course, the optimizer that I just mentioned, as well as a couple of our top targets to go into the NFL season with. So stay tuned for that. It's a great piece of information. So let's get everybody signed up for free using this product. So we would love to hear your feedback over the next couple of weeks, how we can improve the product, how much time we know it's going to save you. Man, I can tell you, it took me hours to do this every Sunday, not with our optimizer. It's going to take people just minutes to create optimized lineups based on your portfolio. Really cool thing. So let's get everybody signed up here. And So the first and most important thing is to find our sign-up page, which if you try to access any of our tools at luckytrader.com and don't have a plan, this is where it is going to send you our sign-up page. You have to sign in through a Google account, as you can see here in the top right column. So as we slide down here, we're going to take a look at all of the options that you have available to you. We have a weekly, a monthly, and a 6-month option for all of our rarity tiers and all of those Reignmaker veterans. You'll know the names of our plans by the tiers that you play in, of course. So our rare plan, well, that's going to get you all of our tools, including the optimizer, and you can make up to 20 optimized lineups per slate. Now, there will be no restrictions for the next couple of weeks. So in case you don't know exactly where you're going to land in terms of lineups made per slate, you can make as many as you want for the preseason and kind of test that out. But if you think you're going to end up in the rare, we urge you to sign up for the rare subscription. Of course, if you think you're going to make about 50 lineups, you would sign up for our elite subscription. And lastly, for all of you that are making hundreds of lineups, 200s, 300s of lineups for every slate, well, our Reignmaker option is for you. You can make as many lineups as you like. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just model how you can get a free 3 weeks. What we're going to do is we're going to come into it and click rare. That is going to bring us to our checkout page. And what we're going to do here is we're going to add our promotion code of FTRARE, which stands for free trial at the rare level. And as you can see, that comes up. Our total due today will be $0. Now, what I've also included in there is your subscription for the next 2 weeks. So you likely will not have to do anything, nor will you be charged. You will have a credit on the account to come and try the optimizer for, like I said, the next 2 weeks. This week, preseason week number 4, and then week number 1. So what happens there is that it's going to send you back. Sometimes it's going to force you to sign in again, as I want to show you here. Well, looks like they aren't going to force you. And again, if you think you're going to end up in the elite tier, I'll show you really quickly what we're going to do there. Pretty simple. I have kept the coupon codes here pretty standard throughout. So we're going to do FT for free trial, and we're going to type in the elite afterwards. And as you can see here, that's going to give us $0. And then lastly, at the Reignmaker level, we know we all kind of say RM in the Reignmaker community. So that promo code is going to be FTRM, and we're going to apply that. As you can see, it applies to all of your weekly options. It'll cover you for the next 2 weeks after this one. So thank you all for your interest in this product. We are overly excited about it here at LuckyTrader.com. We know it's going to change your Reignmakers experience for the better, and we are here to serve you. If there is something that you think is missing from these optimizers after you hear what features they will have or it will have in the coming segments, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter at DFSGolfer23. On Discord, if you're in the DraftKings Discord, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to RS, Peter, any of the Lucky Trader team. We are here to help you. So stay tuned for the rest of the show. Good luck this week at the Tour Championship for PGA and preseason week number 3. Until next time, everybody, good luck. All right, everybody, now it is time for an awesome segment. I have brought in somebody that you all know, love, and adore here in the DFS and fantasy streets. It is Lucky Traders co-founder Peter Jennings. And Peter, I'm so thankful for you to join this show here today. Can't tell you how excited I am about the product we've got coming out that I've been talking about here on the show a little bit. But first, before all that, let's just talk a little bit about Lucky Trader and the evolution of this Reignmaker game and how you feel about going into season number 2.
Yeah, Jason, thanks so much for having me. Excited to be here. And yeah, it's really fun. I mean, obviously, it's something we're really focused on at Lucky Trader. You're doing a great job with the team to build tools that will help people save time and create value in Reignmakers. I've been a huge fan of DraftKings for a decade now, which is wild that, it's been around for 10 years, and it's been fun to watch them innovate with DFS and different types of games and betting. And then obviously getting into the digital asset space with Reignmakers, which is a really, really fun format. You're covering it so close. I thought PGA was a really great game and a huge success. And now we have football, which, is the premier fantasy sport by a lot. So there's so many fun things happening with best ball, with DFS contests, and of course, Reignmakers. So really excited for it. And excited to see what we've been cooking up here at Lucky Trader.
Yeah. You mentioned PGA, kind of, I call it my home space, so to speak. Been a big golf fan for quite a while. And when they introduced the PGA game for Reignmakers, of course, it got me really excited to kind of put some of that knowledge that I have to use and build a strong portfolio. And then, of course, one of the great features about this Reignmakers game, because it's so new, I feel like DraftKings, now you were in the beginning of the DFS days, as you just mentioned, and seeing the evolution of that game, we've got a similar situation going on with Reignmakers, right, where they're taking so much feedback and input from the users to help shape the game and make it better. And one of those things that I think has DraftKings done a great job is offering different types of contests throughout the sets that they offer the cards in. And specifically for NFL last year, we had the Millionaire Maker on Thanksgiving, which really brought a ton of buzz into the game. And this year for PGA, what they did is they introduced a playoff set specifically for the FedEx Cup. So a really cool idea where the cards that came in the set were likely players that qualified for the playoffs, and they offered gated contests each week, culminating this week, the Tour Championship, with $50,000 going to first place, the biggest weekly prize outside of the Reignmaker World Championships for PGA. So really excited. What I'm going to do here is show you the power of the optimizer from Lucky Trader, the team here that you have assembled, Peter. It's fabulous. The guys working on this with me are just second to none. I really enjoy them and really enjoy their work. So this is our homepage for everybody that hasn't seen this yet. You go to luckytrader.com/Reignmakers/lineup-optimizer. Brings you to the front page where you're able to put in your own pro portfolio. So you type in your DraftKings username there. That is mine that you see on the screen. Press the continue to optimizer, and this brings up your entire portfolio in a matter of seconds, as you can see. Really cool. Now, if it takes a couple of seconds to load, we are working on that load time. Just want to make everybody aware of it, but it should be pretty clean and set. So what we're going to do, like I said, is we're going to make a couple of playoff set lineups. So over here on the left-hand side, you've got to select all of these options for the optimizer to work. So, for example, we know that we're going to be making some rare lineups because that is the contest level that this gated set is offered. We're going to select the exact contest. So we know that this week it's a $200K guaranteed, $50K to first. I know that I've got basically all rare, a couple of elites, and believe believe it or not, Peter, I have one Rainmaker. I pulled a Tony Finau Rainmaker card the other day, so
Ooh.
kind of fun to pull some of those. In this instance, for PGA, if a player is projected with 0 points, that means he's not playing in the upcoming week. So for PGA, we want to select no there. However, if you remember for last year for NFL, Peter, there's a lot of equity in the first couple of weeks, and just being able to enter a lineup sometimes will provide a return. So we do allow it for NFL. Obviously, those backup quarterbacks kind of come into play in this scenario where they're, of course, available on the slate but not expected to play. And then this next one is restrict rarity tier to minimum required. For this specific set or this specific contest, we don't want that because it involves all rarity tiers. However, if we're making basic lineups for, say, an elite tier, we want that selected so that it'll only put the minimum number of elite cards in that lineup so we can make as many lineups as possible at that tier. And now I know that I can make roughly 8 lineups, so we're going to go based off of projected points. And boom, we can see all of these 8 lineups now posted. You can see how quickly it came up, Peter. So I'll just get your initial quick thoughts on that feature and how much you think it might change the game that we know and love of the Rainmaker side.
Yeah, I certainly think it's going to enable, users to be able to, save a lot of time, put in more lineups, which I think will be good for prize pools overall. I mean, we saw how much optimizers and software helped grow the game of DFS. We built a lot of stuff at Fantasy Labs and Action Network, and now there's a lot of good work being done at ETR and some of these other platforms. And specifically, I'll shout out the Solver as well with the optimizer. So it's fun that we're doing the same thing at Lucky Trader for Reignmakers, and the product looks great. It's a lot easier to make a bunch of lineups this way versus kind of the manual process before. So kudos to you, Jason. Kudos to the team. And obviously, we're looking for feedback. And if there's anything else that you guys would like to see, we want to implement it. But I think this is an incredible start. And the beta version of this is just A+.
Really appreciate that. So we'll just go quickly through to show you guys kind of the power. So if you want to apply a tag, you certainly can. For me, we'll title this playoffs since we know it's the playoffs. We save our lineups. This will take us to our last screen. Those of you that have used optimizers, you just mentioned Fantasy Labs in the past, it's very similar to that setup where we press the download lineups feature. That's going to spit out a CSV that you can upload directly to DraftKings. That's the great part. You don't have to go through their bulk entry template in this setup. We have this headings perfectly allocated. Plus, we also have the contest ID number in there. So that's why it's important to select the correct contest that you're looking to enter these lineups in. And as you can see, actually, I have the other view on, but nonetheless, trust me when I tell you that the headings are all appropriate, and this file can go directly to DraftKings. So one more thing that I did want to mention is we're going to go back to the portfolio. As you can see, some of the cards that I have used in those lineups, we have it marked off in this used in lineup feature. The big thing about that is of course, when you come and make more lineups now after your first set, those cards are not going to be reused. That's the big difference, of course, between Reignmakers and DFS. Is that in DFS, you can use the player as many times as you want. In Reignmakers, of course, it is confined to the number of additions you have of each player. So that's the really cool feature I want to mention. Also, if you don't agree with some of our projections this week, I have Rory slightly above Scotty. Well, we have that great feature where, let's say you are established with ETR and love their golf projections, which everybody should. They are some of the best in the industry. You can upload your own projections, a very simple tool. You see me just click it there, the upload projections, then download, and then upload your own custom and select or drop that file right here, and it'll automatically come up. So really cool feature. All right, last thing, Peter, just wanted to show you because, of course, you mentioned NFL is kind of the pinnacle here. And we have a couple of more features to add over the next couple of weeks before week 1. And I do want to mention that when clicking from PGA Tour to NFL, you can see it took a couple of seconds to load. We're working on that load time, but don't get nervous. If it does take a little while, it will come up. So as you can see, we have 2022 and 23 available. You can see that if there is no available slates, that's the error message we're going to come up. So no available slates for 2022 yet. But for 2023, we do have a couple of preseason slates. So we are going to go. I'm going to select rare. I'm going to select the slate, which is classic. As you can see, the couple of different options. And we're just about set up for week one, that big matchup between KC and Detroit. Peter, I'm really looking forward to that one. That's going to be an exciting way to kick off the year. But nonetheless, we know preseason is just this classic slate. We're going to select the contest. We're going to try to win a CD Lamb rare card. We're going to use all the set in this category, and we're going to click just rare and core. The other two features that I discussed in PGA, we're going to leave those both at yes. We're going to do it based off projected points, and I'm going to make about 3 lineups. And as you can see there, I've got a pretty decent set of lineups to put out here this week. Again, you can see that we can go to that next screen. We can download these lineups. And of course, by week one, we're going to have the ability for stacking. So you want to put that QB with the wide receiver, or in Showdown, you want to put 3 defensive players together with an opposing RB. We're going to have all of those features. So really excited about this first-in-class tool, Peter, that we're creating here at Lucky Trader. And you mentioned quickly about the time it'll save. So I got it calculated. Roughly, it takes about 30 seconds to a minute for a classic slate lineup. But if you're making those deep roster lineups in Reignmakers NFL, where you got to put in 9 guys and they've got to all be correlated, Peter, the amount of time that it could save for those lineups is pretty high, especially if you're making 20 or 30 a week. So it's kind of our big selling point. We also would love to have people have this tool create a better experience for Reignmakers. We know sometimes that it can be a little overwhelming, and we hope all of the tools that we're creating here make it a better experience and fun experience. Like you said, the best way to grow prize pools in a format like this is to get everybody playing and enjoying it. So before I let you get on out of here, Peter, last thoughts on the NFL side. Are you excited about being able to use this product and maybe get your Sunday mornings back with your family? I know you got 2 little kids, as I do now. I can tell you I'm pretty excited about it, knowing I can go from, say, 2 or 3 hours of making lineups to cut it down to about 5 or 10 minutes. Oh, I got you on mute, Peter. I'm so sorry. Apologize.
That is 100% my fault. Yeah, no, it's super fun. I absolutely love that we're saving people time. I think that's one of the main things that we're trying to do with these tools. And yeah, the football season is going to be amazing. I'm just giddy for it. It's been a fun summer, but the fall is just the pinnacle of the sports season, led by the NFL. And yeah, there's just a ton of huge contests across the board, and Reignmakers is no different. And I do think you pointed out something that's really important. I think this will help grow the Reignmakers game as well. We need to continue to build tools and deliver great content to grow the game. So kudos to you, Jason. You're leading the charge there and doing an A+ job.
Thanks a lot, Peter. Appreciate it. Well, thank you for your time so much today. Of course, stay tuned. We've got a little bit more on this show. We've got the #1 Reignmaker football player joining us in just a little bit. So again, Peter, thanks for your time today, and we look forward to talking to you real soon.
Thanks, Jason. Good luck to everyone this year.